Hello, ladies. Welcome to How to Let Go of Past Failures to Create Future Success. So, I'm super excited to talk to you today, really just about how to move forward and create success in your business and in your life. Even if you've had some past failures that you feel like are holding you back, if you feel like they've been stopping you, if you feel like there have been weights that you've been carrying around. So, we're going to talk about that today. So, if you ever feel like your past failures or things that have happened in the past have been holding you back from creating future success, it's normal for our brains um, to keep us from taking risks, especially when we have past experiences that prove to our brains that we can't do something. So today we're going to talk about how to learn how to let go of your past failures so that you can move forward and create future success. So if we haven't met already, I'm Kimberly Latona. I'm a life and business coach for women. I'm also an NLP practitioner with a master's in business, and I help women create a part-time business with full-time income while living a life that they love. Hi, Claire. So good to see you this morning. So the reason why I created this training is because I see a lot of women who get stuck and are not making progress personally or professionally right now just because of thoughts and feelings about past failures. Okay. And part of this is scientific. When we've done something in the past and we have failed, or it hasn't worked out, or we have been hurt, our brains tell us that it's dangerous and that it's risky, and our brains encourage us to avoid it at all costs. Okay, so part of that is scientific. So today, again, I want to teach you how to 4 steps to let go of past failures so that you can create future success. So if you're watching live, if you haven't already said hi, drop a red heart in the comments and I will say hello. Also, I know a lot of you watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, drop a purple heart in the comments and I will come back and say hi and answer any questions. So, okay, let's get started. Grab a pen. You're going to want to do these exercises. I'm going to give you some action items to do later. So you'll want to do those a little bit later versus right now so that you can really get into it. But here's what I want you to do. So we're going to go through 4 steps to really let go of everything, all of your past failures so that you can move forward in the future and really create the success that you deserve and that you desire. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to write out a list of everything that you have failed at in the past. Hi, Kirsten. Hi, Julie. Hi, Sarah. So what you're going to do here is you're going to write out a list of all the things that you have failed at in the past. Okay, so get everything out of your head and onto your paper. Everything that feels like maybe it wasn't even necessarily like a failure. Maybe people that looked at you weren't like, oh, she failed at that. But maybe to you it was a failure. Maybe it was a negative experience that you've been holding on to that has not allowed you to move forward with that piece of your life. Okay, maybe it could be anything in your personal or your professional life. It could be a failed marriage. It could be an experience that you had that just didn't go the way you anticipated. Like maybe you launched a course and it didn't go well. Maybe you started a business before and it actually, it never made money or it closed, right? Maybe something happened. In the pandemic, maybe you started something during the pandemic and that didn't work out, or you tried something new and you weren't good at it, right? So anything that you failed at in the past that you feel like really is still triggers you or still feels hard or still feels heavy. Okay, so I want you to write out a list of all those things. Again, they can be personal or professional. And a lot of times it's the personal things that are holding us back, right? Maybe it's that the failed relationship that you had. And it's difficult moving forward because in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I wasn't even able to keep that together. So how am I going to run a business? Right. So again, I want you to write down a list of all the things that you feel like you've failed at in the past, anything that feels hard or heavy or really just difficult. Get all of those things out of your head and onto your paper. That's the first step. Okay, just recognizing everything and letting everything come up. Okay, this list might be kind of long and that's okay. Okay, we're gonna get through it. Okay, so the first step, write everything out get it all out of your paper, out of your head, onto your paper. The second thing that I want you to do, the second step of this process is really just to allow yourself to feel the feelings. Okay, allow yourself to be disappointed or frustrated or, you know, angry, even, right? Because a lot of times what we do is sometimes when we fail or when something doesn't go the way we planned, we just like try and get over it in that second and be like, okay, I'm just going to move on. I'm never going to do that again. Or I am going to do it again, but I'm not going to think about what happened in the past. Right. And that doesn't really allow us to process the emotions and actually really be able to move through them. Okay. I have a client that had a really difficult experience 2 years ago, and she never allowed herself to process the feelings. And now that it's been 2 years, she was like, well, I feel like I should just be over it because it was 2 years ago. And I was like, well, if you never process the feelings, if you never like let yourself feel how you should be able to feel, like disappointed, frustrated, hurt, angry, all those negative feelings that like are normal, then you're never going to be able to move on past that because it's just always going to be in your mind, in the back of your head, of that experience that you had. Okay. So again, even if these things happened years ago, like if you weren't able to feel the feelings and actually process the emotions that again are normal and are warranted, then it's going to be really difficult for you to trust yourself to move forward and like do other things. Okay. So again, the second step here is just really to go through each of those things and allow yourself to feel the feelings. Okay. If you had a negative experience, you're allowed to have those negative feelings. You're allowed to have that anger and the frustration and the disappointment and the hurt and even the shame, right? Like all of those things, you're allowed to feel that. The thing here is that we don't want to stay there. Okay. Staying there doesn't allow us to move forward either. But not feeling the feelings at all makes us keep those in the back of our mind. And then we're just not able to get past that. It's like there's a roadblock in the street. And it's like, hey, like this was never dealt with. Like we never processed this. So we need to deal with this. Okay. So again, I want you to just go through each of those things and really just allow yourself to have the feelings that you deserve to have, and and allow yourself to process those emotions. Okay, so that's the second thing. Excuse me. The third thing that I want you to do is I want you to evaluate the failure. Okay, again, whether this is personal or professional, what we're going to do is we're going to ask 3 questions. The first question is, what went well? Okay. So I know that usually when like you failed at something, that's not the first thing that you're thinking of is like what went well. You're thinking like everything that didn't go well. But it's really important that we address this question so that it's not just like a pity party. And it's not just like everything is bad. My life sucks and everything is terrible. Okay. So it's like, what are the things that went well? Like maybe if it was a relationship that failed, what went well in that? What did you do well? Maybe you were good at communicating, but you were bad at something else, right? Maybe the other person was good at something. Maybe like there was a reason why it didn't work out, right? But what went well? What worked in this? So what worked? And then the second question I want you to ask is what didn't work? Okay, what didn't go well? What didn't work? And this is going to be an indication of like, this is going to lead me into the next question, but it's going to be an indication of like, okay, like here's what didn't work. So we're not going to do this again. Okay. So again, when you're moving into like, again, another business, you're not going to make the same mistakes as you made the first time. And that's the lesson. Those are the lessons. That's the beauty of having all these experiences, because you really get to move forward and be like, now I have this like roadmap of like what not to do. And I get to try something else and I'm going to do better this time. Okay. So again, the first question is what worked or what went well. The second question is what didn't work or what didn't go well. And then the last question is the most important question. So stay with me. If you're multitasking, come back to me. The last question here is, what would you do differently next time? Okay. And this one is so important because this is essentially what you're going to use to determine like, what is your next step? What are you doing next? Okay, what will you do differently next time? Okay, again, if we're taking the relationship example, like, what are you going to do differently next time? Like, you're going to choose a type of person who is like, has different characteristics, who has different core values, maybe that, like has different goals, right? Different experiences that relate to you better, or that treats you differently, right? What are you going to do differently next time? And again, this can apply to business, to personal, to really anything. If it was a business failure, like, what did you learn that like you're not going to do this time that you did last time? Right? It could be something as simple as like, I'm not going to pay for Facebook ads because I don't have my messaging, all hashed out, right? Or maybe I'm going to hire a business coach. Like, what would you do differently next time? Well, the first time, like, I didn't know what I was doing, so this time I need to get support, right? So again, what would you do differently next time? That is the most important question of these three. Okay, so that's the third step, is evaluate the failure. What worked, what didn't work, and what would you do differently next time? Okay, and then the last step here is number 4. And the last step is really the most difficult step, but it's the most necessary. Okay, so this part is when you forgive yourself for the failure and you forgive everyone else that was involved also. Right? You forgive yourself for the failure and you reframe it into an asset. Okay, you're taking this forward now in your life instead of like a scar, or like you're taking it for like you're moving forward with like this weight of rocks on your in your backpack on your back. Like, you're now taking it forward as an asset or a lesson. Okay, and the reason why this is important is because, again, if you're not able to let go, if you're not able to forgive, and I'm not saying that you need to forget all these things. Again, that's not what this is about, right? We're not forgetting about these things because we need to take the lesson. And if you just forget about it, you're not taking the lesson. Okay, so it means letting go of those old emotions, letting go of all the triggers that come up when you are thinking about doing whatever it is that you really want to do, but your brain is telling you, no, that's dangerous, that's risky, like you failed before. Okay, so again, you're going to forgive yourself for the failure. You're going to forgive everyone else who was involved. If there were other people, if there were other business partners, maybe that was maybe it was a relationship, maybe it's a family member. You're going to forgive yourself, most importantly, and everyone else who was involved in that failure, so that you aren't holding on to that grudge, right? They say like, it's sort of like drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die, right? That's what not forgiving yourself and other people does to you, right? It's like literally drinking the poison, like drinking your own poison and then expecting someone else to die. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So again, I really want you to focus on forgiving yourself, or focus on like giving yourself grace here and letting yourself feel the emotions and move through this, without just like stuffing them down and just pretending like it didn't exist. Okay. So let's recap this. So this is a recap and it's also your action item. So first I want you to, again, write a list of everything that you've failed at in the past. Okay. Go through that list and allow yourself to feel all the feelings. Allow yourself to actually feel the emotions that are connected. Like, imagine it like this. Like, sometimes I use the example, like, if you don't feel the emotions of something that happens or an experience that you have, it's sort of like someone close to you dying and you like just not deciding, like, I'm not going to cry about it, I'm not going to grieve, like, I'm just going to move on with my life, I'm not going to address it, I'm just going to like pretend like that didn't happen. Like, obviously, like, that's crazy. Like, no one would do that. Like, no one would consciously do that, because everyone knows that like that's going to stay with you and it's going to be even more painful and it's going to be really difficult, right? So think of it like that. Like, think of it as like you have to experience the emotions to be able to move forward and to be able to see the gratitude in it and to be able to really like move forward in your future without carrying that weight. Okay, so again, the second step, allow yourself to feel the feelings and the emotions, which again are totally normal. So there's nothing wrong with feeling negative emotions. It's totally normal. It's just part of life. Like, life is 50-50, right? It's not all rainbows and butterflies. Okay. The third step is evaluate the failure. Okay. So what worked, or what went well? The second question, what didn't work, or what didn't go well? And then the last question, the most important question, what would you do differently next time? Okay, so that's where you're getting the gift. You're getting the lesson, you're getting the gift, you're getting this gem that you get to move forward with, and you get to present it like an asset now, right? Like I've been through this experience, and so now I know better, and now I am more skilled, now I'm more experienced, now I have more expertise because I know what I'm doing because I experienced that. Right. And a lot of people build businesses on past failures. It's like, this is what I did wrong. And now I'm going to teach everyone how to do it the way that would be easier and more fulfilling and more fun. Okay. And then the last piece is to forgive yourself for the failure. And again, reframe it into an asset or a lesson that you're moving forward with in your life. Again, you're not forgetting this, you're forgiving yourself and everyone else who was involved. And you're reframing this into an asset so that you can actually use it moving forward. And it can be part of something that actually turns into something beautiful in your life and in your business. Okay. So, a couple things. If you want more trainings like this, I would love for you to join my group, Confident and Courageous Biz Building Mamas. We did a training last week that was really incredible, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I think, yeah, it was last week. So it's called the Success System. So if you join my group, definitely go check that out. I think it's definitely the best free training that I've ever done. So, and it's going to be up until August 24th. So the replay will be available until August 24th. So that's the Success System, 4 simple steps to make 5K in your new business. So definitely go check that out. It's in my group, Confident and Courageous Biz Building Mamas. So I'll drop the link to that in the comments. And for those of you who are ready to take the next step, this week I've blocked out time in my schedule for 2 free time mastery strategy calls. So this is for women who are ready to create a part-time business with full-time income while living a life that they love. So we'll get clear on how much time you have in your day to grow your business, and we'll uncover exactly what's been stopping you or slowing you down from having the business and life that you desire. So you'll walk away with complete clarity on how to get the business you want in the time that you have. So again, if you are ready to show up for yourself and you are ready to commit to investing the time and money and energy into creating this business and really creating a fulfilling life that you love, I would love to hop on a free strategy call with you. So I'll drop the link to that in the comments. In the meantime, I would see you over in my group, Confident and Courageous Biz Building Mamas. I love you, ladies. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time. And I look forward to seeing you soon.